Trust is a very fragile thing. It can take years to build, but sometimes it only takes one sentence to completely break it.
Especially when that one sentence happens to be a lie. But what if the person lying to you is not a stranger, but someone you completely trust?
I'm Rose, and you are watching English Through Situations.
And I'm Jack. Today, we're going to ask a very uncomfortable question.
Welcome to our What Would You Do series. This is where we put you in a tough, realistic spot and see how you would react.
Today's situation is all about friendship, honesty, and figuring out exactly what to say when the truth finally comes out.
Have you ever caught a friend in a lie? Not a joke, but a real, intentional lie. It is a terrible feeling. You do not know if you should be angry, if you should be sad, or if you should just pretend you never found out.
Exactly. And navigating that conversation in English can be even trickier because you want to express your feelings clearly without starting a massive fight.
So today, Jack and I are going to debate a specific scenario. We will look at different ways to handle it, the risks of each choice, and the natural English phrases you can use to communicate your feelings.
Let's set the scene. Rose, do you want to paint the picture for our listeners?
I would love to. I want everyone listening to imagine this scenario very vividly. Put yourself in these shoes.
Here we go.
Imagine this. You have been planning a small, intimate dinner for your birthday. It is not a huge party, just you and 4 of your closest friends.
You have been talking about this dinner for weeks. You made a reservation at a very nice restaurant that is hard to get into.
One of those friends is someone we will call Sarah. You and Sarah have been close for 5 years. You share everything.
But on the morning of your birthday dinner, your phone vibrates. It is a text message from Sarah.
The message says, "I am so sorry. I woke up with a terrible migraine. I can barely open my eyes. I feel awful, but I don't think I can make it tonight. Have a wonderful birthday, and I will make it up to you next week."
A migraine. That is a perfectly valid reason to cancel. It happens to the best of us.
Exactly. You are disappointed, of course. You really wanted her there. But you are a good friend. You text back, "Oh no, please don't worry about it at all. Get some rest and drink lots of water. We will celebrate later."
You go to your dinner. You have a good time with your other 3 friends, even though you miss Sarah.
Now, fast forward to the next morning. You wake up, make a cup of coffee, and lazily open your phone to check social media.
You are scrolling through your feed, looking at photos from the night before.
And then, you see a video posted by another acquaintance. Let's call him Mark. Mark is not in your close friend group, just someone you know from university.
The video is from a big, loud, crowded rooftop party. Mark is panning the camera around to show the crowd.
And there, in the background of the video, clearly visible, laughing and holding a drink, is Sarah.
The same Sarah who had a terrible migraine. The same Sarah who could barely open her eyes.
You check the timestamp on the video. It was posted live at 8 p.m. last night, the exact time of your birthday dinner.
So she wasn't sick. She just chose to go to a different party instead of your birthday dinner, and she lied to you about it.
Your heart drops. You feel betrayed. You feel confused. You feel angry.
And that brings us to our big question for today.
What would you do?
Do you confront her immediately? Do you wait for her to say something? Do you comment on the video?
There are so many ways this could go wrong. So, Jack, I am going to put you in the hot seat first. What is your immediate, unfiltered reaction when you see that video?
My immediate, unfiltered reaction? Honestly, my stomach would sink. It is a terrible feeling to realize someone you care about has deceived you.
Would you be angry or more sad?
Probably a mix of both, but initially, a lot of confusion. I would ask myself, why? Why did she feel the need to lie to me? Are we not as close as I thought?
Yes, that is the worst part. It makes you question the whole friendship. It makes you wonder what else they have lied about.
Exactly. It is a breach of trust. Now, if we're talking about my first action, I have a rule for myself. I call it the 24-hour rule.
The 24-hour rule? What is that?
Whenever I feel highly emotional, really angry, deeply hurt, or extremely frustrated, I force myself to wait 24 hours before sending a message or making a phone call.
Oh, wow. That takes a lot of self-control. I don't know if I could do that. If I saw that video, my fingers would be typing a message before my brain even fully processed it.
What would you type? Let's hear it.
I would take a screenshot of the video, draw a big red circle around her face, send it to her, and just write, "Wow, glad your migraine got better."
Oh, wow. Okay, that is definitely one approach. It is passive-aggressive, but it gets the point across.
Is it passive-aggressive? I feel like it is just direct. I caught her red-handed. Why should I pretend I didn't?
Caught her red-handed. That is a great phrase. It means to catch someone in the act of doing something wrong. But let's analyze your reaction, Rose. If you send that screenshot with a sarcastic comment, what do you think her response will be?
She will panic. She will know she is caught, and then she will have to explain herself.
True, but she might also get defensive. When people feel attacked, even if they are in the wrong, their instinct is to fight back or make excuses. She might say, "I only went for 5 minutes," or "I was going to tell you."
I wouldn't believe that.
Probably not. That is why I prefer the 24-hour rule. If I text immediately, I am reacting out of anger. The conversation will become an argument. If I wait, I can think about what I actually want from the situation.
Okay, that is fair. So, what is your goal? What do you want from the situation?
I want the truth. I want to know why she felt she couldn't just tell me she wanted to go to the other party. I would want to have a conversation, not a fight.
But Jack, isn't it obvious why she lied? She wanted to go to the bigger, cooler party, but she knew it was your birthday, so she felt guilty. She took the easy way out.
It is highly likely, yes. It is what we call a white lie that escalated into a bigger issue.
Wait, do you consider this a white lie?
A white lie is usually a small, harmless lie told to avoid hurting someone's feelings. For example, if someone asks, "Do you like my new haircut?" and you don't, but you say, "Yes, it looks great," to be polite, that is a white lie.
Right. But lying about going to a party instead of my birthday dinner, that doesn't feel harmless. That feels selfish.
I agree. The impact is definitely not harmless. But from her perspective, she probably thought, if I tell Jack I'm going to Mark's party instead, he will be devastated. If I say I am sick, he will understand and no feelings will be hurt. She was trying to manage your feelings, but she did it in a dishonest way.
That is a very generous way to look at it, Jack. You are giving her the benefit of the doubt.
To give someone the benefit of the doubt means you choose to believe they had good intentions, even when their actions look bad. It is not easy, especially when you are hurt. But what are the other options? Let's play out the different choices our listeners might have.
Okay, let's look at option A, the silent treatment. You see the video, you are hurt, but you hate confrontation. So you never say anything. You just slowly stop talking to her.
Ah, the fadeaway. I think a lot of people choose this option. They sweep it under the rug.
To sweep something under the rug, meaning you hide the problem instead of dealing with it.
Exactly. But the problem with sweeping it under the rug is that the resentment stays. Every time you see Sarah, you will remember the lie. The friendship will never be the same anyway because the trust is broken on your end, and she doesn't even know why.
Yes, that sounds exhausting. I cannot hide my feelings. If I am mad at you, my face will tell you immediately. So option A is a no for me.
What about option B, the public confrontation? You comment directly on Mark's video. "Hey Sarah, glad your migraine is gone."
Oh my goodness, that is dramatic. I love the drama of it, but no, I would never do that in real life.
Why not?
because it brings other people into it. Now Mark and all his friends know about our drama. It is embarrassing for her, but it also makes me look petty and bitter. Friendship issues should be kept private.
I completely agree. Public confrontation almost always makes things worse. It turns a private hurt into a public spectacle.
So we have option C, the private confrontation. This is my screenshot idea. You text her the proof immediately.
We discussed the risk there. It's direct, but it might lead to a defensive argument. It doesn't leave much room for a mature conversation.
Right. So what is option D, the Jack approach?
Let's call it option D, the honest conversation. You wait until you are calm. Then you reach out to her and ask to talk. Not over text, but face-to-face or on a phone call.
Ugh, phone calls are so intimidating when there is a conflict. What would you even say? Hi, Sarah, I saw you at the party. You are a liar.
No, I would not use the word liar. The moment you call someone a liar, the communication stops and the defense mechanisms start.
So how do you start that conversation? Give me an example of the exact English phrases you would use.
I would start by focusing on facts and my own feelings, not on attacking her character. I would say something like, "Hey Sarah, I saw Mark's video from the party last night, and I saw you in the background."
Oh, that is already so uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable, but it is honest. Then I would say, "I was really hurt and confused because you told me you were sick with a migraine. Can you help me understand what happened?"
Can you help me understand what happened? That is a very powerful question. It is not aggressive, but it demands an explanation.
Yes, it puts the ball in her court. She has to explain her choices. It shows that you are willing to listen, but you are not ignoring the reality of what she did.
I really like that approach, Jack. It sounds so mature. But what if her excuse is just bad? What if she says, "I'm sorry, I just really wanted to go to Mark's party because my crush was there"?
If she tells the truth at that point, even if it is a selfish truth, you have to decide if you can forgive her. Friendship is not about being perfect. Friends make mistakes. They get selfish. They tell stupid lies to avoid awkwardness.
That is true. We have all probably told a stupid lie at some point.
If she is genuinely apologetic, if she says, "I am so sorry, I handled it terribly. I was afraid to disappoint you and I made a huge mistake by lying," then maybe the friendship can be repaired.
But what if she doubles down on the lie? What if she says, "Oh, I went to the party just for 10 minutes to drop something off. My head was still killing me"?
Doubling down. That means continuing to insist on a lie even when there is evidence against it. If she does that, then I have my answer. It means she doesn't respect me enough to tell me the truth, even when caught.
And at that point, you walk away from the friendship?
I would step back, yes. I would probably say, "I don't feel like you are being honest with me right now, and that really hurts. I need some space."
I need some space. Another great phrase. It politely ends the conversation without a screaming match.
Exactly. You are setting a boundary. You are protecting your peace.
I need some space. Another great phrase. It politely ends the conversation without a screaming match.
Exactly. You are setting a boundary. You are protecting your peace. But let's complicate this situation just a little bit more, Rose.
Oh, I love a complication. What else could happen?
You share a friend group with Sarah, right? There are 3 other people who were at your dinner. What happens when they find out she lied?
Oh, that is the messy part. Group dynamics. If I tell the others, it looks like I am trying to turn them against her. But if I don't tell them and they see the video, they will ask me about it.
Precisely. If they see the video, they might feel just as betrayed as you do. They might say, "We all made time for your birthday. Why couldn't she?"
You know, I think honesty is the only policy here. If the other friends ask me, "Hey, did you see Sarah was at Mark's party?" I would just say, "Yes, I saw it. I was pretty hurt because she told me she was sick." I wouldn't badmouth her, but I wouldn't lie for her either.
To badmouth someone means to say negative things about them to other people. I think your approach is very mature. You are stating the facts of how you feel without trying to create a toxic environment.
But what about Mark?
What about Mark? He just posted a video of a party.
Well, Mark knows it was my birthday. He was invited originally, but said he had a prior commitment. He clearly zoomed in on Sarah in that video. Do you think he did it on purpose to expose her?
Now you are sounding like a detective. Don't shoot the messenger. Mark is just a guy with a smartphone. If Sarah didn't want to be caught at a party, she shouldn't have gone to the party. We can't blame Mark for her bad choices.
I suppose you are right. It all comes back to Sarah's choice. It is so fascinating how one small lie to avoid a slightly awkward conversation can turn into a massive drama.
That is the danger of conflict avoidance. A lot of people lie because they are terrified of confrontation. They think, if I tell the truth, there will be conflict. If I lie, there is peace. But the peace is fake.
The peace is fake, and when the truth comes out, the conflict is 10 times worse than it would have been originally.
Exactly. If she had just texted you and said, "Hey, I know it is your birthday dinner and I feel terrible, but Mark is throwing this huge event and I really want to go to network for my career. Can I take you out for lunch tomorrow instead to celebrate?"
If she had sent that, I would have been a little annoyed, yes. I would have felt a bit rejected, but I would have respected her honesty. I would have said, "Okay, fine, have fun. Let's do lunch tomorrow." The friendship would have survived easily.
Honesty respects the other person's intelligence. Lying insults it. When you lie to a friend, you are basically saying, "I don't think you are emotionally mature enough to handle the truth."
Wow, that is a really powerful way to look at it. Lying insults the other person's intelligence. I need to remember that.
It is a tough lesson to learn, both when you are the one being lied to and when you are tempted to tell a lie yourself.
So, to summarize our choices for the listeners. Option A, the silent treatment, which just breeds resentment. Option B, the public confrontation, which creates unnecessary drama. Option C, the private confrontation via text, which often leads to a defensive argument.
And option D, the honest conversation, face-to-face or on a call, using the 24-hour rule to calm down and focusing on your feelings rather than calling them a liar.
It is clear which option is the healthiest, but it is also the hardest one to actually do.
Nobody said being a good friend was easy.
True. Well, I think this situation has given our listeners a lot to think about. It is a very real scenario that almost everyone experiences at least once in their lives.
And hopefully, they now have some good strategies and English phrases to handle it if it happens to them.
Speaking of English phrases, we used quite a few excellent idioms and expressions today. Let's break some of them down so our listeners can start using them in their daily lives.
Absolutely. Let's move on to our language focus.
The first phrase is one I used when I imagined sending the screenshot to Sarah. The phrase is, caught red-handed.
To be caught red-handed. This means to catch someone in the exact moment they are doing something wrong or illegal, with the evidence right there.
For example, the thief was caught red-handed trying to steal the jewelry. In our story, Sarah was caught red-handed on video at the party.
Repeat after me. Caught red-handed.
Our second phrase is a white lie.
A white lie is a small, harmless lie that you tell to avoid hurting someone's feelings or to avoid a minor annoyance.
For example, I told a white lie and said the cake was delicious even though it was very dry.
Repeat after me. A white lie.
The third phrase is to give someone the benefit of the doubt.
This is a great phrase. To give someone the benefit of the doubt means to choose to believe the best about someone, even if their actions seem suspicious or wrong. You assume they had good intentions.
For example, she was late for the meeting, but I gave her the benefit of the doubt because the traffic is usually terrible at this hour.
Repeat after me. To give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Next up, we have to sweep something under the rug.
This means to hide a problem or ignore it instead of dealing with it openly. Imagine actually sweeping dirt under a rug so nobody sees it, but the dirt is still there.
For example, the company tried to sweep the financial mistake under the rug, but the reporters found out. In relationships, sweeping bad feelings under the rug never works.
Repeat after me. To sweep something under the rug.
Our fifth phrase is to double down. Jack used this when we talked about what Sarah might do if confronted.
To double down means to strongly defend a position or a lie, even when there is evidence against it. Instead of apologizing, you fight harder for the lie.
For example, when the teacher caught him cheating, instead of apologizing, he doubled down and blamed the student next to him.
Repeat after me. To double down.
And our final phrase for today is to set a boundary.
To set a boundary means to establish clear limits on what you will accept in a relationship. It is how you protect your mental health and your peace.
For example, I had to set a boundary with my coworker and tell him not to call my personal phone after 8 p.m.
Repeat after me. To set a boundary.
Those are some fantastic phrases. I highly recommend our listeners write those down and try to use them this week.
And now, we turn the spotlight over to you, the listeners. It is time for our viewer question.
We have debated all the options, but we want to know your personal opinion. Everyone reacts differently to betrayal.
Here's the question. What would you do if you were in this exact situation? You see the video of your friend at a different party after they told you they were too sick to attend your birthday dinner.
Would you confront them immediately with a screenshot? Would you use Jack's 24-hour rule and ask for a calm conversation? Or would you do something completely different?
We want you to practice your English right now. Go down to the comments and write your answer.
Try to use this sentence structure. I would blank because blank.
For example, I would take a screenshot and send it to her immediately because I hate being lied to. Or, I would wait until the next day to call her because I don't want to argue when I am angry.
We read every single comment, and we love seeing how you structure your arguments. So don't be shy, leave a comment below. All right, that brings us to the end of today's difficult situation.
To recap, today we explored the tricky dynamic of discovering a friend's lie. We discussed the dangers of avoiding conflict, the risks of reacting too emotionally, and the importance of having honest conversations to protect your boundaries.
We also learned how to talk about these complex feelings using natural English phrases like caught red-handed, white lie, and sweeping it under the rug.
Remember, mastering English isn't just about knowing vocabulary for the weather or ordering food. It is about having the language tools to navigate real, messy human relationships.
Exactly. If you enjoyed this episode and found the phrases helpful, please take a second to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new situation. We have a lot more stories, mysteries, and workplace dramas coming your way.
Share this video with a friend who is also learning English, or maybe share it with a friend who you suspect of telling white lies. Just kidding.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. You've been watching English Through Situations.
Real English, real situations, better conversations.
See you in the next episode.